Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Entertainment in Color. And welcome to our Bachelorette Season 20, Episode 2 recap. I am here with Miss T-Joy and Chantel from Reality Realness with 3 S's. I am so excited to talk about this episode because I am over some of these people. um,
Already?
Already, episode 2, already over them. Um,
Does he wear a dangling earring?
yes.
Is he 30, the oldest guy in the house?
Right. I'm frustrated. How are you two doing? How are you, Miss T Joy?
I'm good, thank you. Not enough time in the day, but I'm good. I enjoyed the episode though. I really like Charity. I really like her.
She is not the problem. Well, she's a little bit of the problem. She's slightly bit of the problem. I eye her a little bit, but she's not really the problem. How are you, Chantel?
I'm pretty good. I was actually watching this episode with my mom, and she's in the know for most reality TV. She's pretty much seen every season, so she knows about The Bachelor and Bachelorette. And what she was saying though is that she thinks that Charity might be a bit of a producer plant, and so she will likely do what the producers are asking her to, which could lead to us side-eyeing her at a few of her choices. So that's something that my mom was pointing out yesterday. I'm like, you know what? I think you're on the money with that one. Other than that, I'm hot because my mom's place has no air conditioning right now. It's broken. And so I am just like trying to not drip.
Yeah.
But I'm great.
Bless
so
you.
I absolutely feel you because my AC, it was so like cool and rainy for weeks, and then all of a sudden the heat switched on, and so my AC is out of my window, and you have to do a whole thing, tape it up. I was like, I don't have time for that, so I'll be doing that this weekend. So I totally understand you there.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh my gosh, we're just starting to it's going to be hot into the fall. It's crazy. But I agree with your mother. I do think that Charity signed away her life on this one and said, whatever you guys want me to do, I'll do, because some of these people she kept and some of these people she threw away. I was like, I don't know about all that. But we will start with one of my favorite parts of the episode, which was Charity shows up on like a bridge looking out into a stream wearing this fuck like, oh my god, I love this green jacket that she was wearing. Actually everything that she wore this episode was on point. Whoever's dressing her
doing a good job.
Yeah, they're doing.
As far as I've heard, there's a new black executive. I don't know if it's an executive producer or just a producer, but there's a new black woman on the team, and so I'm wondering if she also maybe brought in or was asking for a little bit more color in maybe the wardrobe department, because I definitely see a huge improvement from the last even few Bachelors, and I always relate it to Katie's season, because I know Katie was like, I dressed myself, but like she still had somebody giving her outfits to choose from, and I think
why did you have to dress yourself too? Like, that's the question.
Stop trying to wear that as a badge of honor. You did horribly wrong choices. Horribly.
Yeah. Hey, Debu.
Hi, Debu.
Thanks for joining us. So she shows up in this green jacket. I absolutely loved it. And then she's just saying how she's excited to go on her first date. Like, this is it. She feels like her journey starts now. And also then we go into the house and the men are excited. They're like flooding into the house. We can't wait to find out like who's going to get the one-on-one date. And most of them are very excited to get the one-on-one date. And we spotlight Adrian, who is, tells us, we knew he was a single dad, but he does tell us that he has a daughter. So we have Spencer, who's a single dad. He has a son, and
Mhm.
Adrian, who is a single father as well, who has a daughter. And he's basically here not to play any games. No games.
Now, we're going to probably talk quite a bit about this man.
Yes.
Yes.
But since when does falling in love not include having a good damn time? I
I
don't
don't
want boring, studious, like people sitting in their room by themselves, not interacting and talking to people because we're so serious about finding love. Like, I like the fact that people are enjoying themselves, making connections. I want to know that my person is able to make friends in this weird environment. And for me
Right.
personally, if I was ever on one of these shows, one of the things that I would take away no matter what is the friendships and relationships that I was going to be making.
Mhm.
And so the fact that he seems to be so upset about anybody that is enjoying this experience, it got on my last nerve.
Right. And also, his daughter is one, so she's fresh.
Yeah.
She's she's fresh. So, just calm down a little bit.
That, yeah, I mean,
Just calm down a little bit. Just a little
so
bit.
like kind of it kind of is like, okay, so what happened a
Right.
year ago, like.
Right. You didn't even try. You didn't try, right? You just was like, you could just be the mother of my child. I'm not, I'm out. And then you want to be so. I could see you not wanting people there for the wrong reasons, but people can still have a good time. Like, just calm down.
Like
Right.
he's just like no fun police or the
Uh
fun
huh.
police, you know? It's like, oh, you're having fun? I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell you're not serious about love.
Yeah, so I mean, I get it, I do, but I also don't, because it's like,
Right.
as somebody had said, like, well, you kind of are on vacation, you don't got your child, it's not like you have her.
If do
so,
we
so
have her
this
when he
is
home?
right. This is a vacation.
Well,
You
and
should
like,
be
do we know if he's a like he has custody? I mean, I would assume
right.
if she's only one, or that he wouldn't. But
Right.
like, when did it become everybody else's responsibility? The fact that he made a choice to come on The Bachelorette.
Right.
Right.
I mean, like, how much,
So we got to be on your time.
right, how much time away from her is he really taking? Because does he see her that often? We don't know, but according to
Or
Right.
is
him,
it just a gimmick?
right, according to him, he's there, he wants to get to it. But Jesse walks in and says there will be 2 group dates and one on one, and he is like, basically, like, whoever gets it, make the most time. Um, and it's Aaron B that gets the one-on-one date. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Aaron. We liked him.
Do you like him, huh?
Yeah,
yeah.
I liked
And
him.
so we had a thought that, last episode he was probably a person about to get the first impression rose,
Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
so he did not get that, but he did get the first one-on-one date. So which do you prefer, the first one-on-one or the first impression rose?
Well, I think in the past, the first impression rose used to mean either winner or runner up.
Right.
So maybe a few years ago, I'd be like, oh, this is real. This is me and that person. But with this season in particular,
Yeah.
who was given the first impression rose, I feel that was a producer influence. And
Yeah.
so I don't think it was really indicative of how much she was really feeling for this person.
Absolutely.
So, and then when I'm seeing the dates that those had, like this was a Final Four kind of date. Like it was a good, well-rounded date. And
Right.
so I would choose the date in this scenario. First date.
How
Yeah,
about you,
I
Mr.
I would choose the one-on-one because you're actually spending one-on-one time practically the whole day. I mean, I don't know how many hours it is, but I know it's day and then it's night. And then you're guaranteed, if it goes well, a rose and not having to do that song and dance at the next cocktail party. I would prefer the one-on-one.
Even with
I
the chance that if you don't connect, you'd go home.
Right. because
But I
remember,
would connect. I would always connect.
I would connect. I
um, because that is the chance that you said. Like, we don't know. It could be a setup. Like, take somebody on the one-on-one date and be like, we don't got nothing, no matter how great the date is, and kick them off. But I do agree. I do think in this scenario, I do think the first one-on-one date was the date to get, especially this date.
Hmm.
But
Mhm.
we're going to discuss this date, but historically, this actually is not the best statistical date to get. But he does get the one-on-one date. He is nervous, but he also has butterflies. He's so excited. He can't believe that she also feels that their connection is that strong so fast. And you do see it. I do feel like regardless of the two-sided coin, that they,
We knew it was a two-sided
Yeah,
coin.
we do it. I was surprised she told
yeah,
her.
like
I
I'm
mean, he
like,
told her.
oh, like, oh, what, you weren't gonna let the gag keep going?
I know. I thought he was gonna let it go the whole time. Like
Right.
he was gonna
Well,
leave
I mean,
him.
I'm also
He was
surprised she
leaving.
didn't call him out on that the second time that he used it,
Yeah,
right?
that's the other thing. That was the other thing of why I'm just like, yeah, Charity's just going along for some of these
Yes.
rides. Because it was
I'd be calling
clear.
him out. The first time, I'd be like, two-sided coin.
Exactly. Like, okay, like even if you have to like take them off camera, wrist, so you have a two-sided coin, right? Let me
Yeah.
let me
I mean, I like it, but I'm just asking.
know. Right. Um, but yeah, so Charity shows up in her lovely green jacket and she escorts Aaron B out, and they walk out to this beautiful red vintage drop top Mustang.
You know, men love a convertible, child.
Well, the other guys come running out and they are super jealous. They want to be the one. They're like, who's driving? And he's like, it's Charity. She's taking the lead here. And she does get in the driver's seat and, drives off. And they discuss, like, their home life, like what this kind of represents for them. And she kind of
Mhm.
explains to him that she really wanted to take him on this date because she feels like they have so many commonalities where it
Mhm.
comes to their family. Her parents have been married a long time. His parents have been married a long time. They're very similar familial makeup. And so he's like, yeah, this feels like, old school Saturday drive with the family,
Yeah.
with the old school tunes on. We're going to come back to why this should have reflected what happens later. But
Mhm.
um, he says it feels like Bonnie and Clyde. And we see that they're actually driving to the Hollywood sign. It is the 100th anniversary of the Hollywood sign. Have you guys ever made that drive up to the Hollywood sign?
No.
No.
So I did go to California last November. I think I told you guys that.
Yeah.
And I went for an event with the travel group that I have. And I actually got a drop top Mustang with silver, two seats, and I drove all over LA,
Uh-huh.
and didn't get drive all the way up to the Hollywood side, but through the Hollywood Hills and Sunset. It's a very nice drive.
Oh, beautiful.
I will
Nice.
say their drive was probably a little bit better because I was driving through some construction areas. I had wood flying on me and water,
Oh no.
but it was still a beautiful drive. Yeah, exactly. Um, so we find out it's the 100th anniversary of the Hollywood sign, and they have like a mini picnic with champagne near the sign, so they get to go right up to it, and they talk about how it kind of is reflective of what they were talking about in the car, just like the length of their parents' marriages and how important it is, how like this sign has stood the test of time, and that's what they want in their relationship, just like so, like in sync with
Mhm.
how they feel like they want relationship to reflect moving forward, which I thought was just such a really good idea, and also why Aaron B getting this date was probably absolutely the best decision, because I do feel like that is one of the connections that they were making with
And I
this
think it
date.
started off the season on a good note,
It
Right.
did.
it's like a good first date. They connected, the fact that they both were from military families, so they have
Yep.
that connection. I find that having a good first date, it just means, I feel for me that it's going to be a nice foundation for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Especially since like the first impression rose was a little sus, So
Yeah.
this date, I think it was given to someone I think he will be a front runner. I would be surprised if he left before, well, maybe he wouldn't get to hometown. It's like final 6 would be the earliest I would see him leaving.
Right.
Just because I feel like he's handsome, they connect, they're able to have a conversation. I didn't feel like anything was forced. And one thing I was also mentioning with my mom was that I don't know if I'm just biased because they're Black, but I feel as though they're talking about real things. They're
Yes.
Thank
just like
you.
sitting there
Thank
being
you.
like, oh, I feel so comfortable with you. Oh, I love being around. I'm so happy that you picked me.
Yeah.
I feel like we could go the distance. And it's like, well, why? What
Right.
what is it
What
about
about us? Yeah.
Yes. And so
That
I
is why I
felt
said
that
I
I'm
thought.
learning about the relationship.
Yeah, that's why I said
Exactly.
I thought this date was very, like, the perfect reflection of
Yes.
what they should be. These two, as a couple, should be building towards if they are going to last on the outside. Because
Yes.
we do get a lot of surface conversations in these dates,
Baby.
and
I'm attracted to
I,
you.
I yeah, like it's worse than Love Island sometimes. It's like,
Right.
how is that possible? This is worse than Love
They're
Island.
just having a chat. Just
They
having a
just
chat at the dinner
talk.
table chat. Yeah, but I think they look good together too. When he was standing behind her, when they were at the Hollywood sign, and he was just standing behind her with his arms around her, I was like, they look good together, And even some of the men, when they were leaving, they were like, I hate to say it, but they look good together.
It was the other Aaron. The other Aaron was like, "Oh, they look really good together."
And they're both of them. Their brothers are their best friend. I mean, they just had so many things.
And confident. Yeah. And so he does take out the coin, and it's like, oh, flip it. They will be married for a lifetime, and it is heads again. And he does fess up that it is a double-sided coin, and she seems shocked, and I don't understand,
so
girl.
shocked.
How could you be shocked? Oh,
Is she an actress or is she gullible? She was
I don't know. Like, listen, you never know, because I saw that Michelle was doing some acting, so maybe she trying to get into acting business too. Because I was like, "Why you shocked, girl?" But they did listen. She didn't hate it, so they did kiss, and they moved on to the next part of their evening. I do want to point out that Bachelor Data did present something that I thought was interesting, especially considering what Chantel was.
The suspense.
Yeah.
What does Bachelor Data say?
There we go. So, Bachelor Data holds the Hollywood sign trend for
I
Bachelorette, and he it was a 65-66 Mustang, and it's actually a pretty unique date as a whole, but they have done the Hollywood sign date before, and in season 6, Frank got the third place because he did the Hollywood sign earlier, but he actually quit. And then in season 9, Brooks got third place. He had also had a Hollywood sign date earlier, and he quit in third place.
The
I
people
saw
are
this.
quitting. Okay.
And I was shocked.
Wait, and what happens if like the prophecy continues? Because doesn't she have a conversation with? Isn't it him that she's like really upset that he's not ready to like make a decision? Like maybe that's final two, or maybe it's final three. But like, she does have a conversation about you're not ready to be in this, and that would be wild if it was a third place.
If it's a third place, quit.
Yeah.
So guys, we need to look out for this.
Okay,
Because
we must.
this
We must.
is spooky. Like
That is
if
spooky.
he quits third place and he like goes out that way,
That
no
is
more
crazy.
Hollywood Sign dates, guys.
Hello?
We
No
cannot
more.
do
No more.
no more. So I just thought that was interesting because I some of the stuff Bachelor Data pulls out, I was like, oh, that's cute, that's fun, but I thought that was spooky because I was like,
Yeah, that
wow.
Mhm.
But then we do go to the next scene and we see Adrian. I got Adrian in the brain. Aaron and Charity walking into this beautiful, glamorous, like old Hollywood glamour style theater. She is dressed in this beautiful purple dress with one long sleeve and one like tank spaghetti strap sleeve. Um, they walk in, it's like a little table for two with a purple drape on it. Aaron is wearing gray. I absolutely loved her outfit. I know it was probably like people were like, "Oh, why is it?" But
I love
I
purple
thought
stuff.
it went really well with like the old Hollywood glamour theme that they were going for, and
Mhm.
she matched the purple on the table, but not matchy matchy. It was so cute. I thought.
I didn't even clock what she was wearing. It seems she always just looks good, but I'll keep
Yeah.
an eye open from now on.
Yeah.
I didn't like
Well,
his
it's
outfit.
purple. It was purple, so Taboo says they're not feeling Aaron. San Diego men are very crap on the show, basically. Yes, Aaron B does hang with that entire San Diego
Oh
crew.
no!
I think Aaron
Third place
Clancy.
quit.
Yeah, I think Aaron Clancy is his like bestie.
Oh.
Yeah. So it does like while they vibe,
I
we're
don't
gonna
like
look out
that.
for it. We're gonna look out for it.
Okay, we're gonna look out for it.
Woo! But they do sit down and talk about family again at the table and their brothers. And Aaron does talk about how he was in a 4-year relationship during college and he realized that he was struggling with active listening issues in his relationship. And he realized he was the problem. And so he did decide to go to therapy and to get better. And he feels like it it made him a better person and potential partner for somebody. And Charlie is just like so
Eating it up.
like
Eating it up.
she just ate it up because she's like, oh God, he's so vulnerable. He's telling her he doesn't want to take advantage of women. And again, it's like, oh, he is saying all the right.
But okay, didn't you think though when he was going to talk about whatever his like this is his big dark secret that he's going to say that he cheated? Notice that
Yes.
like, active listening. Like I don't know. I mean, I feel like I appreciate the fact that he's recognized that he wasn't a good partner, good boyfriend. I get that. I appreciate the fact that he decided to take it upon himself to go to therapy and start becoming a better person, better partner. Cool. But I feel like he was just saying just a little bit about what
he was doing.
actually happened.
Hello.
You know, because like active listening, and then she turned into kind of like he stopped getting along with her or whatever. I can't remember exactly his wording, and I was like, what really happened here? Like he presented stuff, in my opinion, that made you look good, as opposed to look like how bad you probably really were, right? To the other person.
And she didn't press him on it, so he didn't have to. You know, she didn't like press him on anything. She just was
No.
eating up whatever he was saying because it was like somebody's going to therapy, a black man. Oh yes, I like this.
Listen, I feel her. But then he kind of does a little bit turn the tables and says, "Well, what did you learn from your experience being on The Bachelor with Zach?" And she said that Zach allowed her to kind of be her, but also kind of move past her own issues, and she feels like she grew from the relationship. And again, we see that she can. She this is kind. I feel like in the last few years, we have gotten so much shit on The Bachelor coming into the Bachelorette seasons that like this is different whether it's true or not. It is slightly refreshing that we're just like
Oh yeah, give me the conversation, but I'm just a
yeah.
little side eye, not for
Yeah,
positive.
but it's also like I don't want that clouding her season. Like,
Mhm.
it, I'm glad she's focusing more on the positive of whatever she learned from Zach, rather than because we've gotten it where it's like what with Gabby and Rachel. I heard it was all hate down with Clayton, hate Clayton, Clayton beat up games throughout the entire season. So it's like, do do we want to actually? There's enough toxicity. Do we need that in this season,
Yeah,
guys?
Well, I mean, I feel though also Zach was just such
was a
a
bore.
nothing burger. Like he was just like I don't know. He was a little boy. Yeah, he was just so young that I wouldn't be able to hate on him. That he didn't really do her bad. Like
Right? No, he didn't.
he was
He
fine.
just born.
Okay.
Mhm.
A ring.
So you guys know I'm gonna have to take their word for it because I didn't watch that season. I wasn't going
I
to.
mean, I think how we're speaking about the season is more entertaining than it was.
Right.
Oh my god, that's crazy. So then we see that the guys are waiting up. They waited up basically to see who gets on the next group date or the group date, the first one. So on the group date card, we have Danton, Tanner, Adrian, John, Caleb A, Caleb B, Caleb K,
Hey.
X, sorry, Xavier.
Oh, you're first letter basis with this man. Are you already dreaming about your like if Charity doesn't want him, I'll take him.
Yes, you know how she feels about him.
He's just slightly too young for me. James, Aaron, S, Sean, and Braden.
Right.
And yeah, Braden doesn't seem too happy that he's on this group date.
Because you know what show he's on?
I
Like
do.
it's all group dates. There's like maybe 10 one-on-one dates in the entire season. You're not
Right,
getting all of them. You know,
right.
you peaked too early. You should not have wanted to get that first impression rose because I don't know if that whatever is going to last you to the end because it looks like you are going to get another one-on-one date like maybe next week,
Mm,
but like then I think you're toast. I
yeah,
think it's done soon.
yeah.
Is he part of the San Diego crew too?
No, no, no.
I think he's from
Um,
San Diego though.
he is he? Oh God. Then,
Oh, I didn't think he did.
oh God. Then he probably is about to be. I,
Excuse me.
so then we go back to Charity and Aaron's date, and we see they have opened up the doors to the next side of the venue, and there is a surprise concert next door with Lauren
Elena.
Elena,
Elena.
Yeah, she's from
You don't
American
really know
Idol.
her? Oh,
second
okay.
placer. She was 15 when she did it, I think. She was
Okay.
also on Beyond the Edge. Remember that like kind of celebrity survivor thing where they were like making them stay
Yes, I like
outside?
that show. With Ray Lewis was on there too, right? Yeah,
What?
Ray Lewis was on there too,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. Huh? She
Um,
was also on what was it the show she was just on? I'll remember it in a second. But yeah, she's been back in the game recently.
and she's a country
Oh, she was
singer.
on Dancing with Stars. Dancing with Stars.
Oh, was she?
Yes.
She's a country singer.
Mhm.
Um, I just thought it was like I understand that Charity likes country music, but again, at the top of their date, they were talking about old school like R&B music. Could they not
They had
fine.
already picked her.
One
You know they
rare.
had already picked that girl.
Not
They had
last
already picked
minute.
that girl. You already know that. They had already picked that girl.
Like, and she probably wouldn't know. She's too young to know any sort of old school funk or anything like that. Like, she's probably,
That
Mom,
they've
what's
already
that?
picked that girl.
Smell
That's
that?
her
Move
single. That's her
around the
single. That is her
contract.
single. That's her single,
They
and
didn't
it
have
got
enough
to be
time.
played. You got.
It was just
I mean,
so
maybe Aaron should
disappointing.
have played, right? Because he plays the piano, self-taught. So
Again,
maybe,
and again, he's
You know he
musical.
only know 2 songs. You know that. He a trickster.
yeah, he's like,
He's trying to make it seem like he got double sided coin, make it seem like he always flipping right, and then he know 2 songs, make it seem like he
Somebody
know
else
how to
said that.
serenade.
Somebody else said that they don't think he really knows how to play. Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh, that is
well,
so
he
funny.
didn't
You gotta
really
watch
play.
him. You gotta
He was
watch him. He's
okay,
one of
but
those representatives. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have to watch him.
um, that's so funny. I'm trying to think. I think it might have been from Dinner Shandy that one of them said that they're not sure if he really knew. Like, because he say he plays by ear, but does he really
that's what
know?
I'm saying. You
I
play by
bet.
ear, you're not good. Unless like you were no, I mean, like you can pick up a few things,
Mm,
basic stuff, but unless like you're a prodigy, you're not going to be playing Chopin. Like you're going
right.
to be playing like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star with like a chord
Right.
every once in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Dabu says Braden is also San Diego. So
Oh, Jesus, with them dangling
yeah,
shoes.
let's not do all of that. So they dance, they kiss. I be to me that was probably my least favorite part about the date was the music. I just didn't think
I
it
like
vibed
the
with it.
song.
I
I
didn't
mean,
think it vibed with the entire date personally. But they were vibing. They had a good time, and
and I was happy that I knew who the musical guest was.
okay,
Right.
Right?
that's
Like, when was the last time you knew the musical guest? You
this
never
Right.
is
know that.
true.
Like, oh,
This is.
who's
I
this?
think wasn't
Right.
it one time there was somebody from the Bachelor. Listen to your heart,
Chase.
people. That
Oh, right, right. So you know who this person is at
no,
least.
no, back up. On a certain Black Bachelor season, Aloe Black was on there.
That's true.
Oh
Wasted date,
yeah, that's true.
wasted date because it was somebody who I have a feeling had no clue who Aloe Black was,
Probably not.
but that was a good date. Otherwise, if
Well,
it had
we
been
got really spoiled with having what's his
Neo.
name on Neo on
oh
Love
my god,
Island.
I just saw that episode because you know I'm behind.
yeah. Oh my god, it's such a good episode. And
Yes,
then
it really was.
anyway, and so Aaron gets his date rose. Like, I listen,
Of course.
that was a great first date. Personally,
Right.
I thought it was a great first date. So I get it.
The
Like
only
they
thing they
were
would need it
vibing.
to have made it like the best, like
Yeah,
or like all well, it was very well rounded. Well,
yeah,
obviously having better music, in my opinion, I agree.
yeah.
But like to get the fireworks after, right?
Ooh,
Yes,
Like
yes, yes.
that's all she
Come
needed to have
on.
was the fireworks
Come
after. And
on.
it's like
Need the fireworks.
the best
Need
date you could
fireworks.
possibly have.
yeah. You know they holding the fireworks for that. You know that person who is her real
Mhm.
pick. So. Because like the way they chopping these men down, that we gonna get to fireworks and like
Yeah, like what is it? 6 episodes? Is that a miniseries?
I know, right?
woo! Anyway, next
I'm for it.
day
This
we
time, not a long
go on this group date, and they show that it is Suns Out, Buns Out,
Oh.
Dodgeball
Oh.
4. So a few seasons now. What's this gonna be? Where they actually showed Yusef crying about his daughter.
Did you watch that season?
Was that in Claire's season?
That
Yeah,
was Claire season. That
Yes,
was
yes.
I had just started watching it, and to be fair, I did side with Claire on that. Like he talked to her like crap. Like there was no reason for him to talk to her like that.
Like,
I
did he
understood.
say, I do not want to do this. I'm sorry.
Correct.
I just don't
Right.
feel comfortable. You don't have to
Right.
degrade her.
Exactly. Like I understood where
Like,
he
I think
was
that's
coming
worse for
from.
his daughter to see is him degrading a woman in that manner than
Exactly.
for him playing strip
Exactly.
dodgeball.
that was like just a toxic storm of things because it was
Yeah.
very clear that she wanted Dale, and then the guys just felt slighted about it, and then it was like I feel like they felt manipulated by having to play this game. And
I thought like if he wasn't such a douche, I
yeah,
think that Steph is a very good looking man.
yeah, I actually thought that he was actually a good choice for her, especially based on who she had dated prior. I think but he was a jerk, so it's
Jerk.
like yeah,
Jerk.
no. Um,
Jerk.
yeah, so they do actually play that clip. It's the 20th season, so they throw in a little bit of throwbacks. We see
Right.
bachelorettes coming in and out and all that stuff. So yeah, and we have a pink versus green. I did not write who was on what team. Sorry.
Great colors, pink and green.
But I do feel like since then there have been they have made it funner, like not as toxic. I
Yeah.
feel like this one that we watched, it's guys. They're always gonna throw testosterone,
Right.
pissing
I mean, I
contests.
enjoyed
They
it
were
actually.
competitive, and that's what you want. You want
Yeah,
competitive men. You don't want men complaining. You know what I'm saying? You like,
yeah,
hey, just put the shorts on, speedos
yeah,
on, and let's
yeah,
go. I'm
yeah.
gonna win this date. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was on the beach. They all looked good, in my opinion. I didn't see, although some people were talking about how a lot of them had dad bods, and I'm like, I don't know if the people in that age group is like really hardcore working out nowadays. So it is what it is. But I didn't think anybody looked too bad. So listen, I thought it was a great game overall. So it was best of 5. Now, what I did not understand and did not like.
Was the poor
Why did
audience members getting
yes?
hit by the ball?
I
It's
was
like
like, why are they doing this? Did they make them sign waivers? This is a
they would
liability. What if
100% would have
somebody
signed a
wants to
waiver and be
sue because they
like,
don't got hit with a ball? I'm like, what is going on?
Did not hit.
it was bad.
I was like, is nobody going to just be like, okay, this is not working, guys. Clear the beach. Make a
No, they probably
wider
signed a
net.
waiver that said if you get hit by a ball, you will not sue the Bachelor.
Exactly, because I'm like, why would they do that? They couldn't put some bleachers on and move them back a little bit. I was like, this is crazy.
Nearly took a bunch of them out, yo. It was crazy the way the guys were throwing that ball. Nah, man. And one,
Right, it would never have been me, but if that were me, I'd be pissed.
I
yeah.
know.
One thing I noticed though, Xavier was playing.
I knew
Yeah.
she was gonna be right
Playing.
here.
He's what? He's 6'6" and Dalton is 6'8". Is that how it is?
Yeah.
I'm into that.
But I don't
6'6"
know how
is a nice
coordinated.
height.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know how coordinated Dutton was because really it was a Xavier, Aaron, Caleb kind of
Adrian.
competition. Yeah,
Adrian.
Sorry, I'm saying Aaron.
Oh no, I wasn't trying to reprimand you, but I was just saying Adrian as in like pulling.
Right.
Yeah. So first game we have an Xavier knocks Caleb B out. Caleb B is pissed off about it.
The wrestler does
The
not like
wrestler
that baby. The
came to
wrestler is
play.
like,
He came
no.
to play. So it is pink one. And then we see that Caleb B is like, all right, I ain't taking that. He comes back and
Yeah.
gets green on the board. So it's, one up. And then pink comes back and beats them again. And so then it kind of goes back and forth to then green comes back out as 2-2. And then it's like a Aaron versus John. John was also playing.
Adrian.
I like John.
John was also playing. I saw some behind the scenes clips with John. That man, make him the next Bachelor too. So like either
He
Xavier.
really surprised me.
I don't think
really
that
liking
they would
him. I'm really liking him.
two black people in a row again, to be
Mhm.
fair, but they've never had an Asian representing Bachelor, and I think that he could be good.
If he doesn't make it far, which I think he could, she seems to really like him, and I understand why she really likes him. Um,
Yeah.
I could see him being the Bachelor too. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. So then pink versus green is pink two, green two, and then we have like Adrian versus like the entire pink team, and thought he was about to do something, and yeah, Xavier takes him out.
Right. He catches the ball, and so that means you're out.
Out. Um, so then we get an ITM from Braden, like, oh, Caleb's gonna be the MVP. And I was like, based off of what? Like Adrian's been playing. How much times did I say Adrian? I'm said Aaron, but I meant Adrian. So
Right.
I
Well, I
only
think it's from because of the fact that like we got like the clip, the ITM of Caleb saying like I used to play a softball in college and I can do a 95-mile-per-hour fastball, like, and then they showed him actually like taking some people off that round. So I think that from what they showed, like I could see why that could be very impressive.
okay. I
My
was
opinion, but
yeah. I wasn't getting it, but he was hardcore getting upset that if Caleb wasn't MVP, he was going to be upset.
Does he want to be the Bachelorette? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Listen, that
Because
is
Braden
that,
wants
that
to be
might
the
be the
Bachelorette with
question.
them dangling earrings. Because he feels like his opinion matters. Like somebody's trying to date him. I would. That's such disrespect. They making you look through that. Oh, he should have been the MVP. Why are you? What is it to you? Worry about you. Worry
For
about you.
for real. So we do know that Pink wins, which means that they get to go and have more time with Charity for the rest of the night. Um, but Adrian wins MVP and gets to join them from the green team. Braden is pissed. I did not get it. Like he
I think
literally,
also though he's pissed for the fact that he knows that he doesn't get along very well with Adrian, and so
yeah,
the producers are like, oh, they don't get along. Let's make sure that Adrian is the MVP on this date and brings him the date. Great. So I think that part of it is because he doesn't particularly enjoy Adrian, and
right.
so doesn't want to spend any additional time with him and Charity.
Right.
So they do like spray champagne over each other.
Wasted champagne.
Um,
So rude.
then we kind of go through some conversations. She just talked to John, and they do talk about their chemistry, and they kiss again.
I like John.
One thing about John too, and he's saying like he used to play pro basketball. I'm like, yeah, you
I
did.
know. I
I
was
was
like,
like,
okay, John,
okay,
you just went up the leaderboard a little bit.
right? So I'm like, so you're tall, it seems, and like you used to be a pro baller. Like I'm into it. Like stocks went up.
And I think when it was either Warwick or him, when you look through his IG, he did seem to like hang out with a lot of people of color as well. Uh,
It was
uh, yeah, so I mean, it tracks. He seems to get
Hey,
along with the
Linda.
guys. He has great chemistry with Charity. Hi, Glenda. Welcome to the channel. Yes, we decided to do the Bachelorette on my channel this season, but you can still find this on Chantel's channel for Love Island
tomorrow.
tomorrow. um, and then outside we hear Braden is whining that he got the first impression rose and not the one-on-one date. So now he's seeing the value of, hey, look, you know what? Maybe I should have got this one-on-one date rather than the first impression rose, because I would have gotten more time with her.
Right.
And he starts also arguing about Caleb not getting MVP instead of Adrian. And I was like, this is the hill you've decided to die on?
I on. So
It
great.
was so random. Um, and Adrian at this point was just over it. And I get it. Like, at this point, I wasn't on the let's get Adrian out to freight train yet, but he was frustrated, and I got
Right.
it because it was like you have this man kind of calling into question why you were there, and he's like, "Well, listen, the entire team was screaming my name for MVP. So if the entire team is saying I should be here, who are you to tell me
Right.
that somebody else should be here instead of me?"
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what he was trying to explain. He was like, "My team was saying that, not me," and she went with it. Like so. Take that up with her. Like, what?
It basically, like you said, he ain't the Bachelorette. Um, so he does, like, in his ITM get upset, and he's like, "Listen, I didn't come here to play. I have a daughter. This is not spring break for me." And I said this in Clubhouse that I kind of see where he was coming from, because that you're talking to somebody, and like you realize that the person that you likes this person, but they also like you, and you're like
Does she?
totally different people.
Different, right?
Totally different people. In your head, she likes you. So in my head, like, I get it. Like, if you're looking at this person and saying,
Yeah.
I don't see like, why does she like him and like me? Like, like,
Yeah.
like, I'm
Well,
not
to be
here.
honest, like if I was his age, because he's old enough for him to know better, I
Mm-hmm.
would just be like, "Oh, he's gonna fuck it up. He will."
Mm-hmm.
Like
True.
he's almost a decade younger than me. I've lived through many mistakes in my life. She's also a little bit younger. Why are we trying to police her experiences, right? So I would just be like, you know what? She will come to her senses and realize if she wants to have a more mature man, she
Yeah.
knows where to find me. And I don't, and I just didn't like the fact that like he's acting so mature, but then he's like playing with a kid. Like, why are
Right.
you participating playing with a kid if you're so mature?
This is true. But I think it comes down to he got insecure. He just got
Yeah, of
so
course.
insecure. And um that's not anybody else's problem but his. But
Hmm.
I do think it was a lot of insecurity. And as we saw yesterday, when a man gets insecure,
They do silly strippedness.
stupidness. So he does make a comment to Charity about this. I'm not here for spring break. Some of these guys are here for spring break. And Charity gets upset. Like, that's not what I'm here for.
But like, do you really want your guy to not be making friends with people and not having a good time at the mansion when they have like they might not even get a date with you? So what they like they're not getting a date with you, they're just sitting in their room like just pining away, like praying for a date with you. Like it's so unrealistic.
Yeah.
Um I want my person to have fun and be able to get along with people.
Right. And I do think it's two ends of the spectrum. You do want them to have friendships, because that means that you're enjoying the experience, and that
Right.
they are
And people like them.
right, and that people like them. They could get, because you're going to eventually, like, introduce them to your group of friends. You want them to be
Exactly.
able to meld with your group of
Yeah,
friends.
you want somebody who's friendly.
But you also, somebody brought up, like, in Rachel's season, it was literally a divide with the guys. Like, half the guys hated Brian, half the guys loved Brian. It was like Peter's guys, Brian's guys, and so you can get that, where it's kind of like you have to, as the Bachelorette, I feel like you have to leave that be and make that not necessarily as high of a factor in your
Hmm.
decision making. And I
Agreed.
do feel like the way that the seasons have gone since then, it is gotten to be like factor. Like, we saw it with Thomas. The guys couldn't stand him and literally rode him out of town. It, for him, at the end of the day, it was probably the best thing that could happen to him,
Absolutely.
because
Jealousy to
we
the
all
top.
thought he was a quality guy
Right.
into his background, like he really was the type of person that he portrayed. And even now, just watching him be with
So good for him.
Becca, a former bachelorette, they are engaged. He has allowed her to do things her way, considering all the things that she had been
Respecting.
through. Yeah, like, and now they're pregnant. Like, that was a
Oh yeah, I
dumb
didn't
move
know that. I
on
forgot.
Katie's end.
I mean, Katie didn't deserve to have such a handsome man. Sorry, Katie.
Sorry.
I thought he was so good looking, even if everybody's just like, hey, just like, he's such a jerk. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to be on his side here. I'm not going to gang up on Thomas.
Yeah.
And I feel vindicated because
Vindicated. No,
Thomas is a
Chantel was
catch.
absolutely vindicated that he was a cat. It wasn't until we got the background of like, oh no, this guy was basically like a nerdy kid that glowed up. That was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. And we see that with him. So, but so yeah, I think that I really do wish that it was less of a factor. And what Adrian does not realize is by putting himself in this position, he's actually screwing himself in the long run because these type
100%.
of people do
Go
not
home.
make it far. They
Nobody
go home.
wants to snitch. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to
Well,
snitch.
I
No, they
also
want
like,
the snitch. They want the snitch, but they ain't going to date the snitch.
Right. But and then this is
absolutely.
the other thing is you're also the men start to dislike you because you're cutting down on them having time with her. Like if the cocktails get canceled, if this gets cut short, if this keeps happening, then less and less people are getting a chance to talk to her. So they starting to resent you. They're like,
100%.
well,
100%. And also, though, I just like, don't you just want to get to know Charity and and have a date instead of talking about some
Other people.
24-year-old kid? Like that would be the mature approach, is to not let it phase you. Water off a duck's back. Like she could be like, all this was going on, and be like, well, it had nothing to do with me. I wanted to just focus on our connection. Like
right.
that, I think would be the way that I'd want my future partner to go. Unless obviously it's something that is serious. Like maybe I'd want to know, but somebody doing backflips in the pool on their downtime, I don't have a problem with that.
Could care less. Dabu says Adrian is a buzzkill. What else are you supposed to do if you are at the mansion all day? I bet his baby mama has tea to spill. I kind of
like he ain't seen that child before times or something.
Come on, Reddit. This is what I like Reddit to get to work.
Right.
Investigative journalism.
Is the Reddit still like behind? Like it had went like covert at one point, but I've been staying away from it because I don't want spoilers.
Oh, absolutely. But like somebody will post it, that someone will make a video about it, so then we can find out the tea. But I'm not
right.
going
Yeah. And Glenda says Adrian is getting on her nerves.
Getting?
And us. Listen, at this point he was getting, because I was like so confused. I'm like, why are you focusing on
he
this
was
guy?
started off so cute, and then just like every time he brought crap up, I was like, you're not good.
No, it's a turn off. It's absolutely a turn off. Debu says Thomas King, Katie Clown. I can't, So then we get they don't show the next group date rose card show up.
I wanted to hear what the rose card said.
It was weird. They literally just set them on the
I know.
It was just like
you did not have that 10 seconds to be like, to name 6 names? Like,
right. And I was just like, okay, so I got to figure out who's at this date, and they kind of flashed them, and then I was like, okay, hopefully I got them all. So we do get the men showing up to the next date, and it's Gabby and Rachel are hosting the date.
How'd you feel, Miss Joy, about Rachel being there?
Why?
I'm like, Rachel, she just has to, honey. She just gotta come.
We're done with Rachel at the end of her season. Like, we were like,
done,
I do not want to see her on my screen. Like, I can't see another tear. I don't want to see her crying. Like, I just no more Rachel. So that was how we were at the end.
Yeah, we had a break. I was able to stomach her just for this little, because we had a break. It was a much needed break.
So
Bye
do we think, speaking of Becca and Thomas, do we think Rachel's the next one to show up for Paradise?
I think they both are, aren't they? Yeah, they both
Oh,
are.
are they? Oh, Jesus God.
I think they're both gonna be at Paradise. Yeah.
Definitely Rachel though.
Yeah,
Rachel's a
that's
little
what
more thirsty than Gabby.
that's what I was thinking.
But I feel as though ABC prefers Gabby because she has a better personality, so
Mhm.
it might be a package deal thing again.
Yeah. Woo! Okay then. So they are hosting this date, and we have on the date John Henry, Michael, Warwick, Spencer, Josh, and Joey, our tennis pro, um, coach. And so the date is one person is going to couple up with Charity and perform the longest kiss in Bachelor history, Bachelor Nation history. The last time it was done, Sean Lowe did the kiss for 3 minutes and 27 seconds with one of his contestants on his show, not the one he ended up marrying. And so uh, they're trying to beat out his record.
Now let me
Bachelor.
ask you something. When they did Bachelor in Paradise, didn't what's the name and didn't one of the couples do a long kiss?
It was
The ones that
it was
end up getting
it
married and now they get
yeah,
a
it was
divorce.
Carly and
Evan.
uh,
Evan.
no,
Evan.
Evan. And they did the hottest kiss. So remember they
Oh,
had the hot pepper, remember the string of
okay.
spit? You don't
Okay.
remember the string
Ew,
of
and that
spit?
ew. Ew. So gross. It was so gross.
Woo! Glad I
Woo!
missed that one. So according to Bachelor data, technically, Sean's record had been blown by somebody in Australia. So apparently we don't care about international. So
You talking about here in the
we're talking
States.
about here. So they then put the guys through a bunch of questions to figure out who's the guy that's going to pair up. I do not remember all the questions. I don't remember all the answers. I wrote down what I could remember. So where do you put your? Damn, I don't even know what I wrote here. Wherever they put something, Michael got that point.
Oh, it was like where do you put your hands when you kiss?
Oh yes,
Cute. That
that was
Michael
actually
with
a
those
good answer.
dimples.
That was such a good answer. And he like when he ooh, that was hot. Um,
Those dimples. I'll give
yeah,
you this guy any day.
Yeah,
uh,
a nice strong hand behind the neck feels pretty
Yes.
good.
and then there was another question that I missed, and then they had to do a kiss, what they think their kiss with Charity would be like. Um, one of them said it would be their hopefully their last first kiss, which I thought was cute. I forget who said that one. And then they had to do a story about a kiss. Warwick did one where his girlfriend or someone he was interested in was like long distance from that. They finally met at the airport and they had like this beautiful kiss and it was like very sweet. Um, I liked Josh's story about his kiss with Charity. Um,
I mean,
but yeah, but
but
Joey,
I did know though when he's like, "Hey guy, I'm gonna do something a little different." Like, okay, I was
yeah,
like, "Oh, you're gonna describe the kids that you're
that's
gonna
his
have a
kiss.
charity." Like, it was pretty obvious, but like it
Obvious.
was still cute. It was still cute.
Yeah, the description he did was actually he listen all his answers. I don't have it written down. He actually every answer I think he knocked out of the park. To be honest, I don't think he did a
You
bad
have a
job.
crush on Joshy, the little tennis pro?
Joey, no,
Joey.
Joey?
It's
Joey.
yeah,
Joey.
no.
Sorry, I have a crush on Joshy.
Yeah. Oh yes, Josh is so cute. He was so cute in this entire.
Yeah, he
Don't
was.
get me started on Josh. Ugh, very disappointed. So he does tell a story about a kiss, and he basically describes his what he thinks his kiss would be with Charity. He does say that he was disappointed that he did not get initiate or get a kiss the first night, because he did feel like they had a lot of chemistry. And remember, we did talk about that. That surprisingly, like they were the first conversation that we saw, but he was not the first kiss at all. She did give her first kiss to Xavier, as far as we saw in the editing, and so he basically described what I guess he was thinking about for the last few days of how he thinks their kiss would be, and he does win. And so they go
Okay.
into this horrendous kiss.
Baby, it was long.
Did you pull it?
It seemed like it was
I,
long.
I can't. I'm not going to subject this audience to this kiss.
No.
It would
It's
like
like
it's I don't know. No, I can't. No, like.
And Josh was like,
Now, so everybody's asking, do you stand there as a guy and watch this terrible kissing, or do you look away, or do you
I
walk
would turn
away?
around. I'd look away.
I
I
would
wouldn't
definitely
watch
look
it.
away.
I couldn't even watch it, and I'm not dating her. Okay,
Yeah,
mm-mm.
and it's
That was
not
a
like
fast
I
forward.
don't think they're hot together. It was just
I didn't like the
um,
kiss. I
no.
didn't like
And then Gabby and Rachel's commentary on top of the kiss made it so hokey. It was just
it.
why
Do you think that he should have won?
Joey?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought he probably had.
Most
I,
well-rounded, like best answers all around.
Yeah, I think he had the best answers all around. I could see where she would have picked him over everybody else. To be fair, Josh is who I would take, but I think Josh is cuter
Because
and
Josh is so cute. Love a
he's just
Libra.
hotter to me. And I thought I loved his like super sweet answers that I thought were like a little more poignant. But maybe that's not what she's looking for. Like she did,
That's
like
because she
to
had
me, I
Rachel
think it
in
was.
her. I mean, not Rachel. She had Gabby in her ear. He won't stop looking at you.
Yeah, that he was making a lot of eye contact. Listen, listen. I can't even hate on it. He played it properly. Joey played this properly. He
I
did.
know, okay, but like, so I'm not sure how I'd feel. I'm just curious how you guys would feel if
Mhm.
you were hosting this date and you're on the stage or whatever, and a guy just kept staring you down. Would you be into that? I don't know if I'd be into it.
No,
I'm not sure.
No.
that's what I'm saying. I would not be into it, but
I'd just be kind of like, be normal.
yeah, she already had a connection with this guy. It felt like oh my god, like anticipation of kissing him at this point, and I guess that's what it was.
Swayed. I think she's easily swayed. I think she got swayed by Gabby and Rachel.
I could also see that because I'm telling you, some of the choices she'd be making. So Dabu says, why would Charity want advice from Gabby and Rachel? Their engagement lasted how long? JoJo was not. JoJo already sent in her video, didn't she? Last week, like no.
JoJo trying to do a show. I guess she was busy
Yeah.
making the show. The
and
DVD.
Rachel said she ain't watching, but Charity could call her anytime she needs to. So that's about as much Rachel gonna give this. So yeah. But the record is broken at 4 minutes and 25 seconds. And now, do you guys think this was fair? Record is broken. Joey has already won, but because he won, he also then won a one-on-one.
They're just trying to make people mad. She probably realized that like she didn't really want to go on a date with anybody else from that group because like
Right.
isn't the majority of people that group end up going
They,
home?
they
So
went,
maybe yeah, she just didn't want to waste her date on someone that she wasn't interested in.
yeah. And I do want to point out, Spencer was so much calmer and cooler.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he was.
Oh my
I
god!
thought he was gonna be real.
Kick your
Yeah.
balls.
I was like, yeah, I was like, oh my god. He was like, it felt like a totally different person on this date than what we saw episode 1. He still does end up going home. But I was just like, oh thank God, because it wasn't so bad to watch. But yeah, so he did get a one-on-one, and the guys got sent home, and so they were upset because they thought that after this, having to watch this kiss, they were going to have some time with her, but they
Right.
do not. And
Which I
so
think they should have. I think they should have had
I
some
think they should have at least got a little more time.
Yeah, like maybe it could have been like a double, like he would get a rose, and then there'd be a little after party, and then someone else would get a rose. Like you
Right.
don't need to have 10 roses at the rose ceremony. You could have 9. It's okay.
right.
Yeah. No. I kind of felt it. But they took it in stride. They do go home. They took it in stride. But when
They
they get
do.
back to the house and describe what happened,
Your favorite person? Weren't you saying that Braden's such a cutie? He's such a cutie. Isn't that you?
that wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
That wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I said that he was a no go, and from I was watching the first episode. I was like, wait, no, why does she like? I was so confused. I'm like, oh my gosh, she likes him. Why does she like him? No, and then I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna give him the first impression rose. Why is she doing this?
That he also screens producer plant, you know?
Yes, yes.
Like,
So
he's
Brayden
no business staying.
No.
is this when he was wearing the scarf and the dangly earrings? Because
Did Jesse ask him what did he have on? He was like, going for it. Did Jesse ask him like, what
my
look you
friend Ash Batch, who does like a newsletter, like she posted this picture on Twitter. Let me see if I can find it. It was absolutely hilarious. If I can
Of
find
him
it.
in his outfit.
Yes, about Brayden in that outfit. But yeah, so Brayden is pissed. He literally threw a fit.
Yes.
How dare Charity do that to those men? She bullied them. And Josh is like, well, no, I mean, to be fair, it was actually kind of a cute date. It's just that we then had to watch whoever, like, it just, we didn't win, so it was kind of sucky, but it was, it's not Charity's fault. And it's like, no, you don't get to feel like that. How dare she do this to you?
He disrespected you.
She disrespected you. How classless. Oh,
I didn't hear. I wound it a couple times, and I didn't hear him actually say that. The classless part. I heard him say it's
tasteless. I think maybe.
I don't even think. I was honestly. I went back and I listened to it like 3 times, and I didn't actually hear it. I know that Adrian does say that he says that later on, and so I was like, I don't remember him saying that. So I went back and listened, and maybe it was different in Canada on our network. Maybe they cut it out, but I did not personally hear it.
I remember hearing something.
But he wasn't speaking well of her. I was like, why would you say that you
I'm gonna
don't
pack my
trust her
bag.
opinion or whatever?
Oh yes, he's gonna pack his bags. I was like, oh really?
Good.
And that for me was it. I'm done with that man. You can go. You can go.
Yes.
Yeah.
How dare you? You are not the Bachelor or the Bachelorette. You can go.
You can go. The show will go on.
Now, okay, even though he was annoying me at this stage, Buddy Boy was annoying me even more to be engaging with. So, like, what Adrian's position was is just like basically feeling as though he was not allowing Joey to be happy about his date or whatever, or like everybody else. I can't remember if it was Joey or Josh or who he was talking about, but like he was just kind of saying like, if it were me, I wouldn't have been able to watch. I would have wanted to go. And Adrian's like, why are you negating his feelings? Why are you not letting him have his feelings? He's like, well, no, I am letting him have his feelings. I'm just saying that if I were in his position, I would not be able to have done that. And like the fight was over stupidness again. And it was kind of annoying me that Adrian was just I think he's just looking for camera time. I think he just wants to be like the villain or anti-hero or whatever you want to call it, so he can get maybe a phone call to paradise, because like this
we're gonna see
strategy.
People on Paradise. We're gonna see them on a 2-on-1, and we're going to see them.
I think you think they're gonna do a 2-on-1 this season?
If there's anybody who's going to get a 2-on-1, it's these two.
It's them. Yeah.
But it's possible that one of them just gets kicked out. But yeah, it was.
But it looks like Aaron B later on in the season gets into some funny business too. So
But we
It
did
did
call
look
that,
like
I
this
think,
from the
with
clip,
the
didn't it?
astrology, right? Didn't we talk? We called that with the astrology that it would be both of them.
Aaron B had
Oh,
a
this was
good
supposed
card.
to be.
Is that Lenny Kravitz?
So funny. I was dying. I was dying when she posted this. Like, oh my god, that definitely is his vibe. Um. So yes, he was not speaking nicely about Charity. He was throwing a right fit. I was done with the
Yeah.
entire like. And then
Right.
Adrian didn't help, and I was also done with him. Like both of them could go.
Yeah.
And so we do go back to the one-on-one, and Joey like talks about his home life, and we find out that Joey's parents are divorced, and that Joey's dad had come out as gay, and that is why their parents decided to divorce. But because they made just such a, I guess,
Well, they had a
informed
love
decision,
connection, but
yeah, to basically parent them properly. He feels like he had great parents. His dad's his best friend, who come to him for any type of advice. Did we think Charity was like into this conversation?
I think so.
Yeah.
Charity
I
is
felt
all
I
about
actually was a nice share. You know, a lot of times people do these like big dark secrets now. Like it's like it's just known now that if you're on a one-on-one, you're gonna have to share some deep part of your soul. And he
Hmm.
shared something that was intrinsically a big part of him that wasn't super dark and like you know I had this
Like
horrible family life
cutting a
or like
wound and opening himself up
exactly.
to her.
Exactly. And I thought he was being very open, and I think it shows a lot about who he is and a lot about what she could expect about the family dynamic that she would be coming into. And so I thought that it was a nice share. It was a nice surprise from as an audience perspective to learn about him.
Hmm.
And I think that she handled it well. And I don't think it bothered her at all.
No, I didn't
No, it
either.
didn't.
And I do think it connected them more, and they do
100%.
kiss again. This kiss was a little better. Not as messy, maybe because it wasn't as long. And then we do go back to the house again, and Brayden is still bugging out. And at this point, I was like over it. And I was just like, I can't even. But we do see Jesse come and basically says tomorrow night there will be no cocktail party. It's canceled. Is this the first time they've canceled a cocktail party the night before? And not like them.
No, I thought it was the day.
Charity,
I
was
thought
it
it
the
was
day of?
the day. The next day. I thought it was the next day.
I thought it was the night before.
I thought he said there's not going to be a cocktail party tonight, but there's going to be a barbecue today.
Oh,
I
so
think it
maybe
was
it was
no,
the
I think it was
morning.
the same day actually.
Oh,
Now
okay.
that you're relaying how it was said, I think it was the same day.
Okay. So they do cancel the cocktail party, but they decide to have a barbecue.
Where's
We
my
can't.
camera on this damn thing?
No?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, I can't. I can't. Oh. They're gonna show that kiss over and over and over and
Till
over
he
and
goes, oh.
over for history. No.
No. Mm-mm.
Um. So they do decide to hold a barbecue. What did we think about them canceling the cocktail party and Charity spending time at that mansion, having a barbecue with the guys?
I
Well,
liked it.
originally I was annoyed, and then I was fine when it was like, okay, good. They're still having time with her. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I liked the idea. I thought actually it was a better idea than doing a cocktail party. I felt like it did feel like a lot more guys got to have time with her,
Yeah.
and find ways to connect with her.
Right.
And so, because again, we do see that the guys that she ended up talking to during the barbecue ends up being some of the guys that actually stay.
Right.
And so we do see her. they do a little montage of some of her activities with the guys, but we do see the first impactful one is with Dunton, and he sits down with her and he's like he's glad that she did keep him even though they
Mhm.
didn't really get to speak the first night. And I do want to point
Did you
out,
notice
like,
him like having to like duck down, like when he's
Yes.
walking through, like he's like hitting the boom and hitting the branch, and like he's so tall.
I do want to point out, I think he probably was one of the ones that actually got like almost no time with her, whereas there were some people that got time with her we just didn't see. Because even with Xavier, I saw a photo of them knitting together, and it's like, and I think I saw another photo with her and Josh actually sitting down and having a conversation. We didn't see her or Josh talk at all.
No, we
So
didn't.
the way Dunton is saying it, I don't think he had any time with her at all. And so he does
Wow.
appreciate that, even though that was the case, she did still feel their connection to keep him. And he breaks out his resident alien card of what he had coming over from, I think it was Nigeria, to the States as a young boy. It has his little picture and his full African name,
Woo, child.
um,
Which was a lot.
which
Now
is what.
he's of course an attractive man, but
Mhm.
after this moment, I was like, he had an immediate glow up in my eyes. I was like, whoa, like the openness and vulnerability that he had to share that, and like it was just such a sweet moment, and it was so
Hmm.
like it wasn't pushed or forced at all. It was like
No.
it was just so lovely. And
Hmm.
I like from that point forward, I was like, okay, now I understand why he looks like he's going to be a front runner, because this moment was really special and
I
it
think
made
he's a
him.
dark horse. I think he's a dark horse. He like I
Yeah.
remember we did our cast assessment. We're like, I don't think he's going to be bringing anything.
Right.
Every time they've had a conversation, I see it. I see it.
This one I really saw it for sure.
Yeah, I see it. And he's absolutely very handsome on screen. And
Hmm.
not just the height. I have a thing for height, but
That
not
height is
just the
He
something.
height.
doesn't. I
Hmm.
got
The
to think for
height
height.
helps. Yeah, the height helps. But yes, and they do have like the most sweet kiss. Like, I
Oh.
thought their kiss was just like, when you like have a real first kiss with somebody, I felt like theirs was most like a real
Right.
first kiss, but on screen.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't like, can I kiss you now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
this time I'm supposed to kiss, but
Yeah.
like it seemed like the moment actually was organic.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Who
So
was cooking on the grill? Was it Adrian and Aaron? Were they the ones doing the cooking?
were they? I was not
Aaron and
any.
wait, yeah, because I think wasn't a no, maybe it was Xavier. Only reason why I'm thinking that because I think it was Xavier was saying about Adrian that he needs to stop getting in the business, and I think it was around this time. No,
Oh,
he
okay.
was like,
Yes, I think that's in my on my next page. But I think what? So Aaron S. You're talking about,
Yeah.
right? Or Aaron? Which
Aaron,
Aaron? Aaron B or Aaron S?
I
black or
thought
white,
Aaron
Aaron.
B was the one that was cooking on the grill, but maybe it was Xavier and Adrian that was cooking
I
on the
think it was
grill.
Xavier and Adrian, to be
Okay.
honest.
And then we see her have a conversation with Tanner. He promises her he's here for the right reasons,
Hmm.
and he says he's looking for a wife. Did we believe Tanner in this conversation?
She believed him. She believes everybody.
Oh wait,
I'm gonna just tell you, she believes
I
everybody.
don't remember this conversation, so I guess I didn't believe it or care for it.
Yeah, I
Like
was.
I think he's an attractive man, but like I don't
Oh
know if
yeah,
I
very
see
cute.
much of a spark. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
very
Mhm.
cute. But I was like, I was a little side eyeing him. I'm like, wait, so this is our introduction to you, and like that's the first thing that you're bringing on to here. Will this actually end up coming into play at some point that somebody says they don't think that Tanner is here for the right reason?
I think he was just trying to say that because it was like the whole spring break. Remember the fellas had like had
Yeah.
the whole discussion about, I just told her some people aren't here. And I guess he just wanted to make it clear I am here for the right reasons. I mean, I'm thinking.
But see, this is my thing about that spring break comment. It's like, if it's not you, don't address it. Like, talk to her about you. And this is why we get these surface conversations, because people will drag, like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, are you interested in the person? Because if you're interested in the person, you're not bringing up spring break comments. You're talking about you.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
because you have nothing to talk about. Is that's why you're talking about this garbage.
Right.
Talking about nonsense. You've
Uh,
got nothing to talk about.
right. So then, we do, because I'm calling it now. I'm like, I just want people to understand, like, I know that all these men are not specifically here for charity.
Right.
They want their brand deal and to get a
Mm-hmm.
YouTube channel and make
Start a
influencer money.
podcast.
And if they
Right.
find love, it's a bonus. Because do you know what though? I'm wondering, what do you guys think? Do you think that if they paid these people for being on the show, that maybe we would more likely get people that weren't just trying to get popular or make a name for themselves on the show? I mean, and we might find more love because I
I think
don't
it might
think
help. I'm going to tell you the truth. So, if you have not watched it, Chelsea Vaughn from Matt James season, she's a
and Bachelor in
model.
Paradise Canada this season.
Bachelor in Paradise Canada,
I
who
like
I'm
her.
kind of
She's
excited
tall,
to
right?
see how she ends up after Sunday. So if you have not watched Bachelor in Paradise in Canada, go try to see if you can catch up. And then the finale is on Sunday, which I will be watching and probably live tweeting. Live,
Or live, what's it called? Threading?
yes, or threading.
Oh yeah, threading.
I need them to give me hashtags in order for me to thread anything. So I'm on. So they have introduced 3 apps that are like alternatives. I'm not even talking about Blue Sky because fuck Jack. Yes,
Oh, you and Chelsea Cash. Oh,
yes.
nice.
Those are my girls. I love them. And so I refuse to go on Blue Sky because how Jack left us for dead on Twitter, and then want to go and start a whole new no. So I'm on Spill. I'm on uh, Spoutable, and I am on Threads as of today. I use testing out Threads. I
I
need
like
them.
it.
I need them to give me a page where I just see who I'm following. I like it. Some of it is pulling in too much information, and then I also need my hashtags. If you bring me my hashtags and my DMs, I'm not gonna be using Twitter. I'll be on Threads. Spill
Hmm.
is specifically a visual chat app for Black and people of color, and
Oh,
it's
is that a
literally
new dating app?
it's literally pulled in Black Twitter. It is so cool, and I
I
like
was
it
seeing
because
people tweet
That's
about
Spill?
it yesterday,
Is
and
yeah,
it
I was like,
Spill?
yeah,
spill.
about, and I was like, should I get on this? But isn't it like, didn't they say something like it's just for iPhone people right now? It's not
Yes.
for Android?
So I have it on my iPad because that like I don't have an Android. I have an Android. I can't do it on it, but I do have it on my iPad, which I think I like it. So and you can only like text like 90 characters, but you could like pull in like little clips, and it's literally Black Twitter. It's like what we do. Like we
Okay.
post
This
clips
one?
and yes, that one. We post clips and memes and gifs and
Right.
literally. So we're doing little text, and then it's like a whole thing of visual, art.
Are they dragging
Oh,
Kiki's
they
baby daddy
dragged
on
him. I
there too?
dragged him. Shoot,
Wait,
I
dragged who?
said,
Kiki
Kiki
Palmer's baby
Palmer's baby
daddy.
daddy.
Oh.
Yeah, I
He's
dragged him. I said
dragged.
on my spill. I said,
Are
so
they team Catherine or team like
I
everybody
don't
else?
think the Love Island people have moved over
Reached there
from
yet?
that yet. Yeah. Because the stuff I saw today on Twitter, I'm like, y'all can stay there. Um, just ridiculous. But yeah, so if once Threads has hashtags that like is they have a
So
month.
what do you mean by the issues with hashtags? I know we're doing a little bit of an aside here, but it's literally just been the last 24 hours that this app exists.
Yeah.
So you mean like searching a hashtag, or does
Yes.
hashtags not
They
exist at
don't.
all?
They're not. It's not a thing on there. You can't click.
Okay.
You can if you hashtag something. It's not
It's not a clickable
active.
link or like
No.
or
No.
a
That you
tag.
go like
You
yeah. That
can't
you post
tag
it.
basically.
No, you can't tag nothing.
Can you tag
So
people? Do you know?
I can't. I haven't seen a way to tag anybody either. So it's not. I needed to do that in order for it to take over Twitter. In my opinion.
100%. Well, I mean, like right now, you can just basically just see what other people have tweeted and like it, and then people can see what you've liked and what you've tweeted.
Yeah, that's it. But you can do full videos. You can do full links. I posted. I tried to post this link. It worked. I did my Love Island stuff and it worked. So you can post like you could do full like clips and videos and gifs and all that stuff. You just can't hashtag anything. You can't like tag anything yet. Like and there's like no close friends option yet. So yeah, I need them to do that before.
That's like next week, I feel.
Yeah. So once they do that, I will use it more.
It's a little bit cleaner.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm excited to see what the possibilities are for alternatives. For
It's
Twitter.
a lot of stuff to keep up with. Y'all just
and
updated.
And the fact that on IG, it is a lot harder for troll accounts to exist because you literally can block them and block every account that they do, which Twitter has never done, didn't allow us. We were hoping that he would do verified accounts. He did not do that. And so just the things that I've encountered with trolls in the last year with like Big Brother 24 and Love Island would last me a lifetime. I don't want to have to deal with it when I'm talking about my TV shows and stuff. So, all right. So back to the Bachelorette. So we do see Charity and Sean. If you remember Sean with the hair, playing mini golf.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
What did we think about her
with his shorts and no shirt and a blazer? Yeah, I remember that.
His blonde fluffy hair, yeah.
I mean, I don't see them being there to the end, but he'll probably make it through a round or two.
Yeah, I didn't see any chemistry or anything, but he's there still. So then she sits down with Brayden, and he does initiate I was kind of upset about the one on the group date with the guys. I just felt like they felt bad, and I'm not about that. Blah blah blah. And he makes her feel guilty about a date that she didn't even conceptualize or come up with.
But I don't. He did make her feel guilty, but he really downplayed it a lot too. He was not with the vibrato. He was coming real gentle, real soft. He was saying it real like, well, I was just, thinking like I didn't want them to feel bad, and coming at it from that angle, not talking about he was the one telling them, oh, y'all gonna let her disrespect. He was coming real meek and mild, and then he was like, yeah, because I was like thinking about packing my bags only if like I felt like you were kind of that person, but I was realizing that's not how you are. And she's like, no. And she never. If
someone said that about me, I'd be like, sorry, you're gonna go.
I just didn't understand why she didn't press back with him on that. Like, oh, you were gonna pack your bags and you hadn't talked to me. What you packing your bags for? What does their experience have to do with you? Like, she never was pushing back, and I didn't like that. I just didn't like that.
It's to me like that pack your bags comment is my biggest problem, because that means that you think that you can control me and my actions and my decisions.
Well, I don't know. Empty threat. Pack your bags. Go. Like, exactly. I don't need the threat.
And you're saying that their experience weighs more on you than your connection with me. That's what you're saying. Like, we don't have a strong enough connection.
But to be fair, there are sometimes when a an experience can be more than you've known this person 2 days. Got it. But
But
that's
it
why
wasn't his
we don't get
experience.
empty threats. Leave.
Right.
Leave then.
Leave.
Don't be
And
like,
just
I
like,
wanted to leave. I was planning on leaving.
yeah,
I packed my bags, but I didn't. Like, go.
Go.
Like,
right,
nobody wants somebody that's like threatening to leave all the time. If you don't want to be
Right.
here, if you're on the fence so much, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. So get the f out.
right.
Exactly. You either
Um,
for me or against me.
but what do we think about him kind of cleaning up, like other than the packing it back? He did kind of clean up the verbiage because
Oh, most
this
definitely he
ends
did.
up being like I think a bigger thing about him cleaning up the verbiage of what he was actually using to present it to her. And I feel like that's not unnormal when when you're presenting something that you feel like is a touchy subject with your partner. You not necessarily approach them with the exact views of how you think about it as
Yeah,
you're dating, right?
for
So
sure.
he did seem to clean it up a lot. And so when then we get the next scene of Adrian bringing his in his head the actual comments in his head that was made, I do feel like Adrian's comments reflected a little bit more on what was said.
Right.
But I just didn't care for this 8 minutes. I'd
Right,
have rather have seen the date card that came to the mansion and hear the love charity. Like I'd rather have heard that than have these two little segments of this stupid fight.
right,
So personally, like I'm not about it. I know that you're looking for drama for the
right.
show and like,
Yeah.
but like I'm just not here for it. Like he's 24, he's going to be kicked off soon. Let him be. Don't let him bother you so much. Like why does he bother you so much? He's
Yeah.
really not. He's not that bad.
Right.
Like there's a lot more annoying people that I've had to ignore in my life, a lot, and this guy's not that bad.
And at the end of the day, you are eating up the little bit of time that you could be introducing her to you,
Right.
talking about your daughter, talking about your home life, talking about Braden.
Making
Exactly.
him more
What?
excited about being with you and all the things that you guys are gonna do together. Like she knows is that like, oh, we're not gonna talk to Adrian. We're gonna talk about Braden and how like he's so much more mature than Braden is, and Braden's just on spring break. Like that's what she gets to look forward to. I'd be like, oh god, that's a good
Yeah.
conversation with the guy
And
again.
and then it was like then the spring break comment comes up again and she's just upset and it was just like it was like a whole spiral and it just like while I do think his comments reflected way more on what Braden was saying, I just feel like like you again it's that adage of you winning the battle but losing the war
Most definitely.
because then she's upset and she just feels like what is going on like with these guys and so
And
she
she
leaves
leaves.
the barbecue and so as you said Aaron B
Great, thank you, thank you.
and Xavier on the barbecue grilling and the girl is gone and they're like well what happened
Adrian happened.
and
And
it's just
Josh over there looking like he about to cry because he ain't been able to talk to her.
and Adrian's like well I had to tell her. And listen, the guys are pissed. Especially Xavier. We get a full ITM of Xavier. Like, why is Adrian still running his mouth? Why does he keep running his mouth? He needs to stop running his mouth.
And for a
And
guy to be saying that like it looks like they're friends or friendly, like
right,
that's good.
the way he said it was like not threatening or anything, but it was just like at this point, like
Come
I'm
on,
Like,
I'm
dude,
over it.
knock it
I'm
off.
over it.
Dude, knock it off. You said what you said to her. Don't keep saying
Jeez.
nothing. Like, knock it off.
And then Braden says stuff that I have to actually agree with. Like, you're making me agree with Braden. Braden says his relationship with Charity is separate from all of you guys' relationships, so why are you bringing it up? Why are you focused on that? Focus on your relationship. Talk about you with her. Why? Why isn't Braden's talking sense?
No, he's done that.
Adrian is jealous of the useful man.
Yeah. Joey's over both of them and says they both should go home. And
Yeah,
I can't
go for it.
I
disagree with that.
agree. At this
Fine.
point, I agreed. I was like, yep, both of them.
Don't need to see either of them again.
Yeah, so like at this point we're going into the date, the
Rose
rose
ceremony.
ceremony. It is over. I just was so thoroughly through with both of these men. And yeah, so we have some comments here. Braden is a hot mess. I hope production is making Charity keep him, because why does she like him after what her brother and Adrian said? I don't know, because then when she walks in, she says she trusts both Adrian and Braden, and I was so confused. Um,
Exactly.
Dabu says, so bored of these men trying to be Superman or White Knight. She's a grown woman. She'll figure it out herself.
She
Period.
might figure it out late, Dabu, because she agrees with
Then
everything.
she
But
figures
she
it
will
out
figure it
late.
out.
But at this point, you got
But she
to
will
just
figure
let
it
her figure it out,
It's
and
kind of
use
like
your time
a
wisely.
teenager when you're like, oh, this is a big mistake, but I'm gonna have to let you do it because you're gonna have to learn for your own life experience. But I'm just gonna
Thank
give you
you,
Period.
carte
Glenda.
blanche.
Thank you, Glenda. That's what I'm saying.
Glenda says Adrian is a child, is fresh out the womb, has a child, fresh out the womb he should be home with. And listen, at this point, he ain't using his time wisely enough, so he should have just stayed his ass home.
Exactly.
Um,
But
Taboo
like
thinks,
he's probably just there to get a spot on Paradise, so he needs to make as much drama as he can. Maybe he's not even into
yeah.
Charity. Maybe he's still with his baby mama, and he's like, listen, I'm just gonna cause a mess, get on Bachelor in Paradise, just so I can make some money for the baby.
So
Maybe
we're
that's
gonna
the
be
whole game plan.
be hearing about a 2 year old on Bachelor in Paradise.
Yes.
Taboo said there'll be one more episode of this nonsense, and the producers will deviate to a new storyline. Let us
Yep.
hope. Let
Yep.
us pray. Let us.
New villain will arise.
Yes.
Glenda likes Joey's story. She thought he was sweet,
Yeah.
and his kiss was disgusting. Yes, we agree.
Yeah.
Um, but Dabu says that Brandon is a good talker, and yeah, listen, he
He's less annoying to me than Adrian is. Just this is just how it is.
he
That's just the
seems
way it
to
is.
be a bit of a
Like
master
about a
manipulator.
feeling.
Otherwise, like it's either he's a really good conversationalist or he's a great master manipulator, because she believes in this
I
man
don't know if he's that
wholeheartedly.
smart.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. So then we see James is upset. He got no time. He is just
Who's
upset that
James?
James is Chicago attorney with the Apple Farm.
Oh, and
And
his mama sent the
Blondie, right?
Yes, yes,
sent the donut, the
yes, yes,
apple
yes,
cider
and the
donut.
cider.
I
Yes.
I remember the action, but I don't remember the man. But I think I know who he is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do have Joey and Aaron B already have roses from their one on ones. So we have call outs: Danton, Tanner, Caleb B, Warwick, Michael, Sean, Xavier, Aaron S, James, and the last two roses do go to Adrian and Braden. And we knew that they would. When it
How
was
many
down
people
to
got
those two,
eliminated?
hmm?
How many people got eliminated?
So
4?
getting eliminated tonight was Caleb A, Caleb K, Josh, Spencer, and John Henry, which is literally, like we said, like, save for Joey, those five men from the second date.
Wow.
So, what do we think about that? Do we think that she like that second group? She really didn't have any
That's
anything
what it seems like.
for them.
It seems like there's no hope for them.
Yeah, I felt considering those were all the guys that. Well,
Went home.
actually, Caleb A, I think, was on one of the. Yeah, he was on the earlier dates, but
But Spencer was on that date. Wait, is John Henry still there? Or is he gone?
John
John
Henry
Henry was
gone.
eliminated. He got eliminated
Yeah,
Monday night.
So who was
Michael
on that
was
date?
on that date.
Michael
He stayed, and Warwick was on that date, and he stayed. But
gone.
Spencer, Josh, John Henry, and then Caleb K and Caleb A did go. Um, but I mean, that date was like 6 guys, and like most of them went home too. So it,
Hmm.
So she's
um,
down to 10 guys or 11? Hold on, she's
she
down to
is
12,
down
13.
to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 guys. Um, I'm
That
like,
was quick.
what's the hurry here, guys?
No,
What's
13,
going on?
13, because you guys had roses.
Oh, and 13. Yeah, sorry, 13. So I'm like, why we going so fast?
Yeah,
It's
we're
like
going fast.
we going fast. So that means that you know that there's gonna be a couple episodes where we're spilling over from. We ain't getting rose ceremonies for 2 episodes.
Or
There gotta
one
be.
person goes home.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just we see it happening.
Oh, they're
But
all such good guys. I can't pick. I
I
just need
do
more
feel like
time
she
with
got
all
a
of them.
great group of guys. I said that last episode. I'm not. I don't feel like that is to be discounted. I just was very upset because like I understood Caleb A maybe going home, but Josh, I liked Josh.
I
Why
like
did
Josh
Josh
too.
did she
And I
not
felt
love?
like he really liked her.
Yes, and I feel like he expressed that to her. So I
But
just
maybe
was like,
like Libra Capricorn. Mm,
yeah, that's true. Caleb A,
mm,
Caleb K also went home. Who I thought, so they obviously whatever conversation they had about college and what it didn't spark anything. So Dabu says, "Are we actually going to get a black couple from this franchise? Do we think that? Do we think it's a potential for from one of these men? Because now she's down to
I feel
one.
like it's a I I feel like it's a 60%.
60, I guess 60, 65. Yeah. I mean, I think it is possible for the fact that the people that seems like she's had the best connections with, it's
Mm-hmm.
been mostly men of color or
Another
mostly
couple.
black men
Yeah,
and Joey.
yeah,
So yeah, like I feel like Xavier is still probably the front runner, but they're just like hiding him because like
I
it
agree.
can't be so obvious that she's gonna choose him.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's going to be him, but then she had a lot of really great moments with Dotton and a lot of great moments so far with Aaron B. And so if those three plus Joey are their final four, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think that in that kind of scenario, I think she would choose Xavier from how I'm feeling about their interactions and how I'm feeling the show is playing us.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
think we
I
might
agree.
actually 75%. I'll give it now.
So
Yeah.
you think that
Um,
Joey is a more of a front runner over John? Hold on.
I
Joey?
do.
No, I think John is. I think John is more
Only
of a
because
front runner.
I was looking at some of like the trailer previews
Uh-huh.
and I feel like I saw Joey in it more.
More? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Or, but is
I
that
like
because he?
John. I'm more partial. Maybe because I like John. I want John to be more.
I love John, but
Yeah,
I feel like Joey's more of a front runner right now than John is, even though I
yeah,
would rather have John for myself.
yeah. Again, maybe he ends up being our next Bachelor then.
I can see that
What
very,
did not happen?
very, very likely
Um,
because like if they want to be, because he looks like he's mixed race Asian. And
yes.
Mm-hmm.
so that would be appealing, in my opinion, to some of like the typical Bachelor, like the Fiat 500 version of the Bachelor
Hmm.
nation. And so I could see him being accepted as the Bachelor more easily than maybe any other race.
Listen, I, as long as they're not Braden, I think
Mhm.
those were
Braden's not going to be the Bachelor.
As long
good.
as they're not Brayden.
Like,
There's no way.
no way. Just like I need Braden to go.
Yeah.
Dabu's comments about Clear, oh Lord, that mess that was Clear season. That's a Pisces.
A Pisces child. Yes.
And Dabu with the my flight got fired, so chances are of seeing another black lead isn't far fetched. I mean, this is fair. This is
Mhm.
fair. They want to combat those issues that
Yeah.
they had front loading, into coming into these last few seasons.
Hmm.
And our last Bachelor, our first Black Bachelor season was like a complete shit show.
A
So,
complete.
Well, it's terrible.
so yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I want to see. I'm excited because I do feel like she still has some quality guys here.
Yes.
I am with you guys that her picker, I think, is producer picker,
Producer
and
picker. She probably says like, okay, I like Xavier the best. I'll do whatever you want.
yeah. I do think I do, and I to be fair, I do see the producers being like, "Oh, good, perfect," because we've seen it with the Clear season, where
They
if
don't
you
like
don't give it to
biased
them,
fat meats.
yeah, it just it screws up the season. So you got to get the Bachelorette to play ball so you can play ball with them.
Yeah.
And I just feel like probably it's probably a more harmonious relationship in that way where she's getting really kind of what she wants, but she's also playing ball with them.
For
And
sure.
I do feel like at this point, not at this point, but it with Michelle's season, I feel like they started making her a villain in this season, in her season, with the men that she was choosing. I don't feel like they've yet made Charity a
I mean, season
villain,
two. They
huh?
have time. They have
Yeah,
time.
but they still have time. Yeah. So Glenda says that Claire's season was her season, and she needs another messy bachelorette. Listen, this is as much mess as I can take. I need her to find love. We need another strong black bachelorette couple coming out of this
Yes.
season.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I had a lot of hope for Michelle and Nate, and unfortunately, I have thoughts on that, but I will not praise them. Yeah,
Gemini Cancer.
and that was I think that was the basis of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But again, thank you guys for joining us for our recap.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining me and to talk about the Bachelorette. So, what are you guys up to, Miss T Joy?
Um, and nothing much on the world of YouTube. I have so much work to do off of this thing, but
How about you, Chantel?
Well, as usual, you and I are covering Love Island UK on my channel, Reality Realness with three S's. So we'll do a double episode tomorrow evening, either at 6 or at 9, because at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will be getting together with the boys on the TNT channel, the Nullified Take. So that's Chris's channel, with Drew from Angel Cake Entertainment channel, and we will be doing a draft for All Stars 2. So that's 7 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to figure out either before or after Tamika and I will do Love Island. But at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Nullified Take, we will be doing our All Stars 2 draft. I'm in the second position because I lost the last draft, and that's where I'm being placed. But the winner is going to choose whether we start male or female. So it's usually a fun time. I usually like busting both their balls, and we kind of get a little competitive. There will be a sabotage round where we get to give a bad player to somebody, each person. So it should be a good time, and we will be looking at All Stars 2 now that we know that we got a date. We got a date when the season's starting, so let's get it drafted. So that's what I'm doing for these
when does it
next 2
start?
days. I frack. August 10th, I think.
Oh yeah. I did
So,
see. Yeah, yeah. I did.
for me, as always, follow me on Entertainment in Color everywhere. I will be live tweeting, threading, spilling, whatever.
You got it
Listen,
all covered.
Elion messed me up the other day because, like, when I went to try to live tweet Love Island, I could not tweet, I
I
could
don't
not
understand what
share.
happened there.
Oh, he did not pay his Google bill for his Google servers. Have fun.
Oh gosh.
So that is why we got accelerated. We're going to different platforms, and so wherever.
I mean, it could be the catalyst, though.
Yes, that was definitely the catalyst. So for a whole weekend, we could not do anything. So follow me everywhere, and you will see me either chit chatting about reality TV, regular movies, whatever I'll be talking about. I do coming up. I do know that we are in July, and Love Island USA will start in 2
Next
weeks.
week.
Next week? No, it's 2 weeks. The 18th.
Oh, I thought it started on the 13th.
Yeah, 18th.
18.
Um, and then so we'll be figuring out how we're gonna cover that. Yeah.
That's
And
gonna be a lot for you all.
yes,
What we were saying like before when we started doing this, like we were like, oh, we'll do 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. Like
yes,
and
yes,
like now like we both work, so like I don't have as much free time and flexibility, and like I have more free time in the day, she has more free time in the evening, so it kind of gets a little bit sticky sometimes. But
yeah,
we will figure it out and make it work. We might have to
yeah,
go live twice in a night.
yeah. And
That
then
I can follow from the beginning. That I can follow from the beginning.
Thank you.
Big Brother does start August 2nd, but they do have an anniversary special that they will be premiering at the end of the month. And I will be joined with Janelle on my channel. And we will be
Ooh,
discussing some Big Brother this season.
Right.
Thankfully, it started later, so I don't have to worry about three things three
that
times a
works.
week.
I'm
So
so
I,
excited about Big Brother. I
yeah,
love Big Brother. I've missed that over the summer, but
yeah,
I understand why they're pushing it back. But
yeah.
I love Big Brother.
So I am excited to have these conversations with Janelle because we have been talking about last season. She's like, "Oh, I wish you were. I wish I'd known you then, so that we could chit chat about it." So we have a concept. We're gonna come with a really good conversation, I think, about Big Brother. Nothing that we've seen on some other channels. So I'm excited to do that. So
Okay.
thank you guys for joining us on both of our channels for all of the reality TV and regular TV stuff that's coming up. Not much regular TV is coming up with the writer's strike, so we will be in reality TV haven for the next few months. So thank you for joining us for the Bachelorette. We will be here sometime next week, hopefully next Tuesday. Until then, see ya. Bye.
Bye.